Good morning, everyone. It's Chris here once again to bring you the thought for the day. I hope this finds you really well. Uh, Things have been a little bit different in my household this week. Joshua's gone back to school full time, and Imogen's gone back in part time, and things have seemed a lot quieter in the house. See, for the last 10 weeks, I have been splitting my time between working from home and looking after the children, especially as Louise has been out working really hard during this time. So it's been nice. We took the opportunity to slow down as a family. We're not having to rush out to school and bits and pieces and clubs. But it's been busy at the same time. But we have naturally, as most of us have, had that opportunity to slow our pace of life down, and it's been great. And one of the things during this time that I've noticed that are so important to our household are daily routines. I know I talk about Joshua and his condition and the impact that that has on us a lot, and I kind of apologise for that this morning because that's where my thought comes from again. But at the same time, I kind of don't because do you know what? It's where God speaks to me, and actually, I think it's really important that we all know that actually, in between these videos, this is our life. This is daily for us. This is what we're dealing with on a daily basis to help Joshua be able to function in the world, as well as taking care of Imogen at the same time. And yesterday, we were sent home a new visual timetable for Joshua, something that we've been after since during lockdown, and they finally had the opportunity to send it home as Joshua's gone back. And this is how Joshua knows what's happening during his day. It has pictures on it that you can take off and put on. And this was Joshua's routine this morning: breakfast, to brush his teeth, to get dressed, and then had an opportunity to play before he went to school. And that's really important to Joshua. And when you break down things that happen in the morning, you can see actually there's quite a lot to mornings with Joshua because he needs assistance with all of these. We have to help him with his breakfast. We have to brush his teeth for him. We have to help him get dressed. He can play by himself. He's pretty good at that. But do you know what? Joshua's daily routines are so important to him. But the challenge comes when something changes in Joshua's routine. So maybe something different happens. Maybe instead of getting dressed, something happens and the routine changes. Joshua can find that incredibly distressing because he's aware by looking at his timetable what's coming up, how he's functioning, what he are important to him and has to kind of be done next. And that really helps Joshua. And do you know what? I was thinking about the routines that I've managed to put in place during this time. Daily Bible readings, time with the Word, time listening to the great worship songs the church have been producing, listening to podcasts. I've really found that during this time I've really tightened up on some rhythms that I have with God, and they've become part of my daily routine. They're part of my timetable. And during lockdown, they've been so important. I've known when things working around Joshua and Imogen's timetable. I've known when I'm going to be reading the Word, when I'm going to be having a meeting with the staff team, when I'm going to be listening to worship. And do you know what? I found that so useful. But the message that's coming now from the government is that things are beginning to reopen. Joshua and Imogen have now gone back to school, and offices are beginning to function, shops are beginning to open. The world is readying itself to speed up again. And I wonder, when we come out of lockdown, what life is going to look like for you guys. Is life going to speed up really quickly? Because my real want is to continue to keep this slow, methodical routine in my life of doing time with God every single day. And I think that's a challenge for all of us because the reality is that on my timetable, things are going to come in. But how don't I become discomforted like Joshua could do if his routine changes? How don't I become stressed if things kind of get in the way of my time? How do I maintain the importance of my time with God during a time where other things are going to start to happen? Do you know what Jesus says in the book of Matthew, in Matthew 11? Come to me, all you who are wearied and heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. When we speed up in life, when the life speeds up around us, it's really important that we hold on to the fact that Jesus wants us to come to him for rest. He wants us to slow down. Jesus' model of ministry is a slow, methodical way of doing things. He didn't rush. He didn't run everywhere. He slowly walked places. And Jesus says, "Come to me, all you for rest." He wants to give us rest for our souls and show us that his way is easy. His yoke is easy. There's still going to be things to do, but his ways are so much easier. With our daily rhythms in our life, with our prayer life, with our Bible reading, the work and life is going to be so much easier. So my question to you today is, how do you keep God at the forefront of your visual timetable as we begin to see the world speed up? My prayer is that you continue to go to Jesus, especially when we're weary and heavy burdens. God bless.